factory promotion, and we're trying to test our drive from uh, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Don't forget that we said that we are going to be going live, and our different programs is going to be coming up. We're talking about teach wellness and empowerment in business. So if you look at past, we're community engagement driving up to a level of be the voice for the voiceless. If you look at where we are right now, we getting to you at this time to talk about this show is going to be coming up every 8 p.m. on Friday, and is mostly be talking about business, our connection, and how can we how can we drive it, and how can it be part of the legacy that we want to leave. We'll talk about how to our organization, your organization, our organization partner, and to drive this thing to the next level. So every Friday, we're going to be coming up here and talking about wellness, business, and empowerment. Now, what is wellness? We're talking about mental health. We're talking about how can we maintain our mental health? How can we manage our mental health? How can we be able to control our mental health? And it's a wider scope of discussing. And some of our discussions will be coming from different walks of life. And we're going to be talking about business. We want to make money, and this is all about money. Everything we do here is money. And for the past 5 years, we've been here, and now we are getting to that level. We have a lot of program coming up, and we're going to be having, as we talk about these issues, we're going to be talking more about how can we generate money to do X, Y, Z. How can and we invest into agriculture to develop our community? How can we talk about family? Uh, an issue of a lady who going through mental health issue. How can we tell her what to go, where to find help? And these are all some of the things we're going to be discussing here on Friday night at 8 p.m. We have different discussing how can we do it. We cannot make it, and so we are going to that place where when I talk about networking, and those of us who understand our human rights actually when it comes to human right based approach to development, and some of the things that we learn, we want to now impact others, and we want to start doing it more than just saying it. And so join us in these different podcasts coming up, and we're going to be talking to more people. We're going to be having more awareness. We're going to be promoting on this show. We're going to be promoting people like the Rosa Ministry. The Rosa Ministry is a kind of ministry that go from state to state here in the state. And they based in Tennessee, but they go from state to state, and it began to kicking off on in September. Now, what is September program? We're going to be talking more about it. I'm going to host him on one of our shows here at 8 p.m. And we're going to be talking about why the Roadside Ministry. What is the event coming up in? It's going to be coming up in September. As joint partner, we're going to be discussing it. Liberia will be having a big program. We are planning it. I'm not going to be talking about it. But again, let us understand that we are driving to that place to realize that this is what God has called us to occupy. Okay, you cannot take over when you are not occupied. And so we are trying to that mandate that God gave us. Let go with the gospel, right? The gospel is not just to speak the word of God. How can you be empowered to do it? How can the gospel go without money? How do I preach? How do I even advocate? We need funds. We need support. We need resources. We need vehicle. There are a lot of things that we're going to be discussing, reaching out to sponsors, maybe some individuals. Okay, might want to sponsor some of the things that we are doing, and they might pass through some of the our podcasts and some of the things that we're going to be putting out there. It is open. You can be a donator, you can be a donor. I mean, and you can be someone who want to sponsor just one show, and it helps us every month to cover up. So it's going to be like a TV radio program, but it's going to be more or less talking about development, business oriented, agriculture. How can we get agriculture tools to help somebody in Africa? How can we mobilize resources? It's not just money. There are a lot of things that we're going to be discussing. Okay, and that's what I'm trying to test tonight. I have some issues with the But this is going to be our site. This is going to be the program on Friday, every Friday coming up, beginning next Friday, and it's just about introduction to this program. Teach. We're talking about technology, and we're talking about wellness. We're talking about empowerment. So these issues, technology is getting so powerful, and how can we get involved into tech, and how can our tech be a part of our program? How can we help somebody up there? They're going through a kind of crisis, which is a prevalent thing. Okay, gender-based violence, human trafficking, domestic violence, all leads to this a whole thing called wellness. There are people going through some mental illness and problem that they have to take their life. How can we talk about this? How can we promote, create more awareness up there so that many people will start getting aware that they need to take care of themselves. They need to be aware about some issues in their community. A husband and wife have to understand that this is an issue. Well, take care of yourself. Well, okay, we're going to be calling up people who will help us spread this good news. So it's about everybody doing something to make something happen. So we're driving from one place, we are driving here, and we are going here. I might not be on the show sometime. Somebody else might take care. I don't know how it's going to happen, but I know that we are driving this boat. We're going to be 12 on site. We can be 10, we can be 3, we can be 4, but I think we're driving somewhere. If we are more, then we get on the other side on Zoom. But listen, uh, this is just part of the program. From that level, we're going to this level. And so, for those of us who have been joining us, those of us who are partnering with us, coming November, I'm not going to talk about it here, but coming November is an in-person program that we are discussing, and we want to have some green light before we start talking about it in July. So please, follow me, share next week because we're going to be talking mainly about awareness, mental health, which is an issue that how technology is helping mental health, how technology is helping us to advance the gospel, how technology is helping us to do what we're doing, how can we support, to keep the work going. And it's all about money. Everything now. This night, I'm talking about Friday. That's going to be about money. It's going to be discussing about of donations. We're going to be discussing about reaching people and talking to people. How can you donate? Giving our website or and probably the website of somebody who will be hosted here, and they too will pay some money. They too will give some money. We're going to be sharing some great thing, man. I want you to understand that it is you that can make the difference. I talked today on partnershiping. Okay, we have the desire for all ministry. We have such desire also, foundation. We have different groups of people who will be coming on this show to promote their product, to promote some of the work I do. I'm going to be promoting my product more because every time I come, I'm going to show some some slide. I think it's the right time for us in the state, for us in some part of the world, to follow, and we will be talking more about it. And this is all about, and we'll be opening the lines for those of us in the state. We have the line open. We're not opening no how to call the WhatsApp line, but we're going to open a line that once you have that app where you can call and make your contribution felt, and we can discuss about how can we make this change in our society, how this business can be ready to be supported. What are we doing? Maybe we're trying to promote a business. Okay, we're going to be showing case about that business, talking more about certain business, and this is all about uh, this whole thing about driving the force and making it to be possible, not just being static. That means not sitting and allow things to not go through. Now remember, okay, this is going to be like a TV show, but remember that we are going somewhere, and you are not going to leave behind. We say we're not leaving nobody behind, and to not leave nobody behind means that we all need to get on the board. So civil society leaders, well, it left with you. But those of us who want to get on the boat because wow, the community engagement with this business session that we're going to be talking every Friday is going to be about partnership in business, real business. We're talking about partnership. It's time to empower. This is not time to just preach on Sunday morning, come back again, go back, depending on the congregation. We're going to be talking more to pastors who might have this thing at heart. gave your donation. Let's talk about these issues and let's promote your church. And let's see how we can empower you in order for you to have the understanding about how you can drive it. It's not just about talking it, it's about giving it a time for us to go through and do it the way we can. In order for us to do it, is not only one person. We have the responsibility to drive it. And like we're trying to adjust all our different internet and some of the things that we see here so that we can be able to commence next week Friday. It's going to be every Friday at 8 p.m. And don't miss it because it's going to be business talk. How can you make a donation to that institution in Liberia? How can you donate to that church? Well, we're going to host pastors from Liberia who might want to speak to the word, and we're going to connect people to people. This is all about basic networking, and this show is going to be about mostly about networking. And well, I don't know how many person will agree that we have a problem with networking. So we're going to be explaining next week how can we network, why network is important. So in the tech area, what we have this show is about tech, technology, wellness, and empowerment. So what is about technology? Technology is about what we're doing. All right, we are on the show. You're looking at me because of technology. And so how can we develop it? How can we stretch it out? Okay, how can we get down to the village? How can we make probably internet it kind of not just free, but likely low income? How can this also have access to internet? Internet freedom. Okay, so those are things that we need to start talking about because we want for everybody to listen to some of the things that they don't know, and people are telling them things to confuse them. Like Liberia, we'll be talking, we'll be hosting people. Let's talk about our community. Do you agree? Okay, as can you develop, can you, how can we raise money in order to support everything we do here, that money? Okay, we need to support ourselves, we need to support the program, we need to do something in order for us to wake up. So on Friday night, every evening, we're going to be talking about this, and it's very important. The reason why the church is failing is not because the church, well, it don't have the potential is there, but sometimes we are still living in the 1920s. We are still living in 1916 or 1910 or 2020 or 2015 or 20. Maybe we're still living way back there. Now we need to rise up because what happens is that you can see that offering is not raised. People are not coming to church. Business talk. We're going to be talking about. It's not just about and the church offering. It's not just about how can the church wait that people come to the church for offering. How can the church be empowered? This is what the church need to be doing. The church is not a poor place. Okay, many of us that goes to church, we got money, but we don't actually support the church. Many of us that go to musician to some of these gospels music festival, we don't support the gospel artists. How can we host some of them to talk about business? Now we're talking about business and we're talking about empowerment, technology. So we're going to be talking how can we support uh, the musicians and how can the musician develop skill in order for them to make money, not only to sing or maybe to preach, but how can we help them to get to that place? And so let join us. It's going to be actually an interaction. It's not just going to be all alone talking. Maybe sometimes you might not see me on the show. I might be sitting at the back, like I can be right here looking at watching you, but you cannot see me. Okay, maybe I'll just be sitting in, right in the background, and then other people will be going on and then interacting. Okay, so but let's talk about it and let's see that we have issues with the church. Yes, I will tell you, we have issues with our community. We have issues of non-profit organizations, especially in Africa, that well don't want to partner, don't see the need to collaborate. Okay, so what are the effects? Like we're going to be talking tomorrow, we're going to be talking about the effects of. We're talking about sex, right? We're talking about how communication is very essential when it comes to the need, communicating your need to your partner, okay, as it relates to even sex and everything that has to do with how it affects the man who does not have anything to do, what it is affecting or what it is, what part of his life is taken away if he doesn't actually have sex in the month. And those are things that are very important for us to know. Our wellness, that's what we say, tech, wellness, and empowerment. So you got to understand that look, if you abstain from your husband or wife, this is what you expect. If you don't, have this as a person, if you don't believe in technology, that means maybe you don't believe in the internet, you don't believe in social media. Well, in 10 years' time, expect that your church will reduce. Your church will not increase. Okay, the fact that when the church is not increasing, is a problem. So technology is getting inside. Is a showcase. Not only that you have to appear, but sometimes some of the things that we do here is that um, people don't realize when Jerry and Mercer went to Liberia, many pastors got vexed. Bishops were frowned. They were jealous over that. Why? Because they refused to take the internet. Go down at 2 o'clock tonight. You see Jerry is there every day. You know what is it's a job for him. He create job. So why are you jealous him? That is his gift. And that's what we talking about. Don't jealous people because you feel that you are limited to something and you just want to be there, forgetting that the world is going, it's not waiting for you. You hear about the African leaders, what they are saying, and you know that Africa want to come together. Okay, so those are all things that is you need to drive us. Okay, if your passion is not driven, thank God for you. Maybe we're going to be with people that are going to be using them for many years. By the end of the day, as a person working over there, maybe in that little kitchen in Liberia or something, you have been there for many years. And stay, your church is just like going to church on Sunday, coming back, going to church on Sunday. There's no project. There's no plan to say, yes, we have a plan. Let's talk about in 10 years where we want to be, what we want to see our members be. And that's what we're going to be talking here. It's not just about, I see it, I'm experiencing. All of us in it, we have problems. Our members getting up, we getting down. Pastors, how can we go up? When we stay only preaching, waiting for tithe, somebody to give a tithe before we succeed. How can we get into developing something so that we can stretch out our own life, our family? Because the same people that will pastoring will start mocking us all and say, oh, and the guy was in America, or he was this, or she was that. Okay, so those are areas that we need to look at. Technology is very important. Wellness and empowerment. So when you start worrying about why you didn't put time, all of us worried about it, but we can't allow it to overcome us. Okay, so join us and think about it, and let make a world a better place. It's not about me, it's not about no one, but it's about all of us. And if you refuse to connect, if you refuse to collaborate, you're going to remain like that, and nothing can happen change once you don't unite. That is the bottom line. Once you don't unite, it's not possible. Even if a church is raising funds and say we want to build a bigger edifice, how do we raise the money? And somebody go with clique and say, look, my man, don't mind our pastor, you want to eat the money. Division. You're not going to raise the money because somebody is trying to take one segment of the church and offside and discuss, look, don't give the pastor money. The guy will eat the money. Okay, so how can we do not to say, yeah, let us build? Like Tobias Sambola told he said, look, you're not going to build. But what happened to Nehemiah? He built the walls. He encouraged his people and to build the wall. So look, we need to begin to develop this idea. How do we, no matter whether we sleep hungry, develop something, make it happen? It's not possible. Sometimes it's very hard. Nobody will push you. Nobody's going to push you with your vision. If you don't pick up yourself, nobody will pick you up. Somebody can give you money the next 5 years, 6, 7 years. If you don't realize put that money to use, you are going to stay be begging. And at the end of the day, you're not going to see anything happen. It happened to all of us. So we need to rise up and say, look, this is too much. Let us rise up, understand that technology now is taking the lead, and we need to follow. We need to realize, look, let us decrease, let us destroy this mental wellness, our mental health, let us increase in understanding so that we can be overwhelmingly controlled by mental well or mental health because it's destroying many people. Why? Because stress, worriness, the burden is too much on our heads, and there's no way that we can get out of it. Okay, so this whole thing we'll be talking about mainly is the business of time, and we're going to be talking more about money, resources, and everything that will help us to increase the level of our responsibility. Put it out there, send it out, and let it happen. God bless you, and don't forget, be with us next week.